So this is one of those field promotions. Senator Hagerty is now going to be acting ranking member of this committee, if that's acceptable to you, sir. Okay. We'll send the proper documentation to your office to be signed. But I'm now going to officially gavel the hearing in. This hearing of the Senate Foreign Relations Committee will now come to order. We are here today to consider 5 truly important positions of great service to our nation. The first is Vivek Murthy to be the U.S. representative on the executive board of the World Health Organization. The next is Ms. Kathleen Fitzgibbons to be the ambassador to the Republic of Niger. Next is Eric Needler to be the ambassador of the Republic of Rwanda. Next is Ms. Pamela Tremont to be ambassador of the Republic of Zimbabwe. And finally, Mr. Richard Mills to be the ambassador to the Republic of Nigeria. As chair of this committee, the Africa and Global Health Policy Subcommittee, this Congress, I'm eager to hear from each of you on how you intend to pursue the United States interests in the countries and organizations you'll respectively be serving should you be confirmed by the United States Senate. But it's also important for us to see how the interests fit in with deepening and expanding our relationships and shared opportunities with countries across Africa. We know that too many people paint Africa, this massive continent, with broad strokes, ignoring the incredible diversity and dynamism across the continent. I'm hopeful that in the aftermath of December's U.S.-Africa Leadership Summit, that the United States will chart an emboldened path forward to strengthen U.S.-Africa relations defined by shared visions and with an eye towards prosperity and sustained engagement as partners. In particular, I'd like to highlight the significance of the President's $55 billion commitment to advance Africa's economic and human capital development priorities, and the appointment of the special representative to ensure implementation of this and other summit deliverables is really a welcome sign. I'm looking forward to working with the administration and all of you to secure support for the financial commitment and ensure accountability from African leaders to deliver for their citizens. Now, it's an absolute pleasure for me, truly is, to introduce the nominees before us who are dedicated Americans in their service, already shown and demonstrated service. The first is someone I've known for quite a long time, Vivek Murthy. It's my honor to introduce him as the President's nominee to become the next representative of the United States on the executive board of the World Health Organization, also known as WHO. Dr. Murthy is the current U.S. Surgeon General. He doesn't just dress that way for his fun and enjoyment, and has served our country through one of the worst public health crises in modern history. Thanks to his effective and steady leadership and at the direction of the President of the United States, he was able to vaccinate millions in record time. Dr. Murthy also served as U.S. Surgeon General under President Obama, where he oversaw the United States response to the Ebola and Zika viruses, underscoring his ability to spearhead government-wide responses to public health threats. He has ample experience interacting with global health leaders, including the WHO Director General and foreign health ministers from around the world. I'll spare the committee this incredible resume as is evident, but I will say it is a quite extensive and impressive resume. It's truly a testimony to his qualifications for his role and how he is one great American dedicated to the health of our country. We've learned from this pandemic. We've learned about infectious diseases, and we know that such diseases have no borders nor ideology. They affect human populations regardless. It's imperative that we have strong representation on the WHO. Dr. Murthy, I look forward to hearing from you and how and why U.S. leadership and engagement at the World Health Organization is critical to fostering sustainable, resilient, and innovative developments in public health around the world. Ms. Kathleen Fitzgibbons, you have been nominated to be the U.S. Ambassador to Niger. You are a career member of the Foreign Service, of which this committee is grateful. You have served as Deputy Chief of Mission in Nigeria, Your track record across Africa spans more than 2 decades. You started when you were 12 and includes tours of Sierra Leone, Gabon, Uganda, and Chad. You are the recipient of multiple performance awards, including one for leadership during the West Africa Ebola crisis. You have served under multiple presidents, dedicated yourself to this country's mission. Your assignments here in D.C. are also highly relevant, having worked in the State Department's office to combat and monitor trafficking in persons, and later in the department's Bureau of Intelligence and Research as the Office of Africa Analyst Director. As a native of New York, known for its greatness in its proximity to New Jersey, Ms. Fitzgibbons attended Hartwick College and earned a master's degree from UC Davis, which is considered the Rutgers of the West. Ms. Pamela Tremont. Ms. Tremont is nominated to be the U.S. Ambassador to the Republic of Zimbabwe, is also a career member of the Senior Foreign Service, and you have, again, demonstrated patriotism, service, and leadership over the course of your career. Your most recent posting to the U.S. Embassy in Stockholm included an 18-month stint as the Chargé d'Affaires. Ms. Tremont has a wide-ranging experience across multiple regions in substantive areas. She was assigned to the U.S. Embassy in Ukraine and served as Deputy Chief of Mission of the U.S. Embassy in Cyprus. She has also held positions in Washington related to NATO policy, as well as overseas at the U.S. Embassy in Zambia. Ms. Tremont earned degrees from Baylor and the National Defense University. Mr. Richard Mills. Mr. Richard Mills' 30-year career in the Foreign Service includes tours in challenging security environments, work in sub-Saharan Africa, and experience leading large interagency teams. You are the acting head of mission to Canada and previously served as the U.S. Ambassador to Armenia. Your incredible service of patriotism to your country also includes overseas postings in Lebanon, Malta, Iraq, and the United Kingdom. Prior to joining the Foreign Service, Mills was an attorney and received a law degree from the University of Texas. Mr. Mills currently serves as his U.S. Deputy Representative to the United Nations, where he has a front row seat to witnessing Nigeria's diplomatic clout and role on the world stage. As the President's nominee to the U.S. Ambassador to Nigeria, many of us are eager to hear your thoughts on Nigeria's recent elections and how you would work with the new government to advance U.S. interests. And the final intro, last but definitely not least, Mr. Eric Needler, nominated to be U.S. Ambassador to Rwanda. You have the fortunate distinction amongst this group of 5 of not being introduced by me. Congratulations. Instead, we have up on this screen, I'm going to try to do this in timing, looking like I'm controlling this like an orchestra conductor. We are going to hear from Senator Bob Casey of Pennsylvania.